The story and concept for the film was a collaborative effort by the team, with the intention to change the mood through gradually getting darker. Apple's 2009 color user manual states that you can pull details out of shadows or crush them, increasing the picture's contrast for a sharper look. Such subtle modifications alter the audience's perception of the scene being played, changing the program's mood. Choosing the date to film was based on the weather and on the daylight. Too strong a light and it would make compositing adding foreign objects into the scene too difficult. BrightS 2013 states that to create convincing lens flares, they must be slightly irregular and have small defects. This can be done by roughing it up with feathering and trying not to make them too bright. Filming was done almost entirely in one shoot to ensure continuity throughout the film.
For the castle shot, we duplicated the footage, then rotoscoped the foreground to the top layer. Then we placed the cutout of the castle images in between, adding curves, stock footage and multiple blending effects to make it fit in with the scene. We think that the shot works well as the elements are blended and graded together. However, the style of the image doesn't come across well and it looks a bit flat and lacking in shadows and definition. Some of the 3D objects, such as the crater and the cube, have not blended incredibly well to the footage and are not as good as we'd hoped. A matte painting or more detailed textures may have worked better, but would have been very time consuming. Sometimes the colour grade doesn't match up between shots, which can ruin the flow of the film, which is a problem. For the castle hit effect, we rendered out a Mass Effects destruction of a 3D model within 3ds Max, using a texture from the castle. We then imported this into After Effects using curves and resizing to fit the scene. To import and animate the cube for the flyover and the flyover shots, we used the Element 3D plugin within After Effects. Bretzel 2014 said that with Element 3D you can quickly create and texture amazing arrays of 3D objects and 3D text and import them for editing. We used the OBJ of the cube, retextured and added a custom environment map to make it fit the scene, then animated this for movement. This cube doesn't look entirely natural to the shot, but it is meant to be an alien and foreign relic. For the blue and orange fire scenes, we tracked the fire and explosion stock footage to the hands of the character. We then used multiple grading effects to get the desired look before adding atmosphere. The final magic shot, we used rotoscoping to cut out the actor from the background and use blur on the floor. We added a masked image of ruins graded to match the blurred floor. Lots of stock has been added with blending modes and opacity to fit the scene. Everything was tracked to match the original camera movement. Brinkman, 2008, said by far the most difficult part of compositing is the integrated result, but I think we achieved this well, matching the various elements in the scene. For the destroyed castle, we used the same process as before, but with a photo of the castle edited in Photoshop to look damaged. We then added lots of smoke onto the footage and used blending modes. We think this is the most effective scene and looks quite realistic. The smoke and the atmospheric stock footage blend well to create a dark feel that we were after in our final shot. Hemo 2012 states that parallax movement provides a viewer with information about the changing image depth during a shot. The further the object is, the less noticeable the movement. This causes some issues when scale is involved. During the introductory space shot, a realistic shot would have shown very little movement at all, which can actually diminish the aesthetic value of the shot.